want to introduce our next guest. Mike Ryan is here. He's the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Client Strategy to talk about an unemployment number that just hit an hour ago.
Hi, Harris. How are you?
Good morning. Good to have you here this morning. What does that number tell us?
I think that number tells us a couple of different things. When you look at where the jobs are coming from, the private sector is creating jobs, but not at the pace that we would like. But that is in contrast to the contraction that's taking place in the public sector. You know, one of the interesting indicators that we have at Madison Performance Group, where we talk to companies every day, is what are they doing in terms of their own actions? Are they hiring people, or are they taking actions to retain their best employees? And we see a ramp up, actually, of actions designed to make sure that their top talent doesn't start to look elsewhere. You know, one of the things that they're very concerned about once hiring picks up is that they're going to lose their best employees, and I think that's one of the indications that you're going to see even increased job growth in the next coming of months.
So when we see that they've grown jobs, the economy has grown jobs by what, 103?
Yeah, it was actually...
Where are those jobs?
They revised them too for July and August.
What does that mean?
Well, what it means is we've created about 290,000 jobs in the third quarter, which really should be a monthly total for the United States.
So we're a third of where we ought to be.
We are, and we're seeing jobs being created in sectors like healthcare and other knowledge-based economies. You're not seeing them in some of the manufacturing and construction jobs, but that's where you're seeing the bulk of them right now.
Look at this graph that's on the screen right now, and everybody who's watching from their home or job, watching their computer screen, can see this now too. Look how flat we are in the last quarter. What's happening?
That is a reflection, in my opinion, of continued uncertainty and continued inaction. You know, there's two things that businesses don't like. That's a lack of action and a lack of certainty. And I think one of the things that's hurting us right now...
We have both right now.
Yeah, well, exactly. And we have...
Well, no, that's not true. We are actively certain that we're uncertain.
Yes.
But you know what? Add something that's very important to the comments you just made. Where Ernst & Young has announced, a couple weeks ago, they announced they're hiring 30,000 more accountants. They're hiring 30,000 more accountants because there are 400 mandates in Dodd-Frank, there's FinReg, and there are the uncertainties around Obamacare. Companies need people to manage how they're going to get through this uncertainty and this heaping on of regulations.
They need red tape tiers.
Right. But
these are the guys that tie the red tape into a bow and make the company look good.
Right. So when you talk about sectors who are hiring, and you're dead on about this, and you look at the CPI or the CE surveys run, the Consumer Expenditure Survey or the Consumer Price Index run by the Census Bureau, you look at where it's coming from, where the money's being applied, and where the migration statistics that follow that, it shows that it is a jobs depression with underemployment and unemployment and the lack of growth in GDP. This is killing us.
You know, one of the other issues, too, is overemployment. You know, what we do when we talk to companies every day is we hear that they're getting so much more out of their existing workforce right now, in many cases without any acknowledgement or raises, that companies really don't have the emphasis to hire just yet because they're getting maximum productivity.
You know, there's something that I've heard you say, and I'm starting to hear it more and more, so I'm glad I heard it from you first so I would understand what it means. You say that we have to learn how to, along the lines of overemployment, we have to learn how to reduce the turnover of star employees.
Correct.
Because you're overworking the ones that are already there.
Correct.
So how do you do that?
You do it by acknowledging their efforts. You know, one of the things about star employees that is generally common in their mindset is, number one, they're very engaged in what they do. You're not going to take that away from them because they're that type of person, but they're also engaged and connected to who they do it for. And one of the things that you're seeing with star employees right now is they're not as emotionally and intellectually committed to the person that's actually hired them. So they're very receptive.
David's nodding. Why is that, Mike?
Well, it's that because they've been overburdened. You know, one of the things about high-performing people is that they look at the job as something that's very meaningful to them personally. And when you take away that discretionary time, not the effort, but the time that they have to explore things within the job, like helping out others and innovating, that's the type of thing that makes their job more of a grind. So they decide to think, well, maybe I can go elsewhere and get the type of environment I'm looking for.
I want to get Ellen's perspective on this, because you're a woman who's held a lot of jobs.
I also run a business.
You run a business. You're a very hard-working person, and now for the first time you're raising a child whom you brought from a different country.
That's right.
And, you know, not to put all your business out there, but I mean, you got a lot going on. When you go to work, right, to work for someone else, not in your own place, but when you go to work for someone else, are you experiencing some of the things that Mike is describing, or
well,
how
I
do
don't
you
really
guard
work
against
for
it?
anybody else. So
but you did for many years.
I did for many years. Yes, I think what people want to be, and this is really why we're successful at Talk Radio News, is they want to be empowered to make decisions and to innovate. And I think you're right. People burn out when they're just a cog in the wheel and when they're not allowed to be who they are and creative.
Now, you do a business talk show. You got some of those burned out people calling you?
I've got so many of them, but there's a two-way relationship here, and Mike alluded to one half of it, or actually spoke to one half of it. The relationship between employer-employee. Joe Sestak talked about rugged individualism, those highly charged A-types, if you will, individuals who want to achieve, I want to do a better show, I want my producer to be the best producer she can be. All of that is what makes us valuable. On the other side, the employer's in a bind, because employers who want to recognize, advance, or pay people more who are valuable to the company because they are those rugged individualists with a thought process that you can trust, with ideas that you can maybe grow, expand, or refine. This relationship is now, at best, stagnant because of the inability to really give them a raise or move them forward.
Listen to D. Golden on the live chat. Stop the pity party. Get a job, even if it's at a McDonald's. Golden, you are living in the real world, Doug Marshall says. Where do you go with that? I mean, there are some people who are walking into fast food places right now. I've got a girlfriend who owns a salon. She said her candidates are like Mensa grads. She just needs someone to answer the phone. She's afraid to hire someone who's overqualified because over time, you'll have another cook in the kitchen. You'll have somebody you'll have to pay more. What do you do?
From our perspective, you focus on the people that you have. Obviously,
and
the hiring.
hire the Mensa grads. Sometimes they can
exactly.
add to your
It's a buyer's market. But I think that the consequence of losing your best people, just getting back to that issue, is not only do you lose a lot of intellectual capital, but you lose the relationships that really drive your business, the industry know-how, the ins and outs of your business, the ability to really develop leaders and understand where the leadership is coming. I think you speak, Harris, to an important thing, is that the people that are unemployed and have been unemployed for a long time are really going to have a rough go of it, because when the hiring starts to kick up again, it's really going to begin with churning of the best and brightest from one company to their competitors, and that's what you're going to see more of before the unemployed are really hired.
Even though the president says that that he wants to put into place some tax benefits if you hire the longest out-of-work worker.
Well, that's a joke. You give an employer, it costs about $65,000 for an employer on average to hire a $40,000 worker. If you give them a $4,000 tax benefit in the first year, what's the incentive? An employer hires in general based on need, but they also look at the ROI. What's my return on investment for the term of that employee that's going to be with me for 2 years, 3 years, or whatever the case may be? So those relationships are bidirectional. And when we have a situation where both cannot satisfy their need, then they pull back, they work longer hours. These entrepreneurs, I'm not going to hire, I'm just going to work the longer hours. And honey, you can spend a little extra time with the kids, I'll do the best I can to be there on weekends, or vice versa. This is what we see going on.
Wow. I tell you, this is a rich discussion, and it's really got people firing on the live chat from all cylinders here. Because a lot of people feel a lot of different ways, but the bottom line is, I love the fact that I have a job. Is one is one chatter, right? I don't know if I love my job, but I love the fact that I have one. All right.
That's a bitter pill. People have to realize it's time to stop with the whatever and do what you have to. That's personal accountability and responsibility, and that's a cultural issue also with us.
Okay, Ellen Ratner, David Webb, and Mike Ryan. Always good to talk to you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Boy, we had some interesting discussions. I had to cut these guys off a couple times because literally, it would be their show for 5 hours. And they have shows.
We do
and
a
then they wouldn't
fundraiser.
need me.
If you want, we'll do a
And I need a
fundraiser.
job.
There you go.
I love my job.
There you go.
How about happy anniversary to Fox?
All right.
There we
Happy
go.
anniversary,
Happy
15
anniversary.
years to Fox News Channel. Ellen, David, and Mike, thanks for being
My
here.
pleasure.
Guys, we'll be right back. Stay close.